Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Cook following the penalty. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Allen. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point attempt to come here.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. So the lead is now dwindled to 9 as the kick here is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? Just because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Foles. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Foles. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go with Howard to begin the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And he finds Beasley, complete.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This will be taken at the 10. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Foles now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No matter the situation in there, the defense won the battle. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Give to Cook out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
He's checking.
They run the counter. Cook. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Allen operating from the gun. He's got Jack Doyle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Matt Milano charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. That one covers 29 yards, first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's tied right there. Four down, four down.
Now Foles. Completes it to Hearns. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 41. He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Jaguars. Raquel Armstead, 41 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Allen off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. This goes out right to Doyle. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the court.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 33. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Allen. And his throw here's incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Here we go, here we go. Ready?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big third down play there for the Jags. 42 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
That one complete. He finds Sharp. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A little over 20 yards there, and in 2 plays they've now moved the ball over 60 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 4. Ticks to go in this first half. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Watch 84. Watch 84. He's going.
Allen going to throw. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Throwing on first down is Allen. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. A.J. Bouye, the fine cornerback, there to make the play defensively. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On play action, Allen. Looking sideline, incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. We've got 2 more after this one, and then we get it all started, as we normally do, on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Howard. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They go play action with Brissett. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Throwing. Rousseau gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That's caught by... Howard. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Minshew sets to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. So third and long, here's Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up fourth. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They go with Howard again. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A good return there, call it 13 yards. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Minshew. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The Bills getting set to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, check.
Brissett now. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. First down, they run with Howard. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. And he's got his man. That's Fountain. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Minshew. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. It was Teron Johnson that time who had that play covered from the start. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And this is Moncrief with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Go now, 18 Gator.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Minshew, 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All day, every day, any day. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Howard. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. He finds Howard complete. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Brissett to throw on first. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Brissett. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Brissett now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Brissett again. Throw left side complete. That's short. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's short. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent. Type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. From the 17, Brissett. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On first down, it's Howard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now on 2nd and 13, Brissett. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
I mean, you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 4th down, Sean McDermott trots the field goal unit out there. And his kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way. they should look at it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. He'll take it back to about the 19. Yard line. And now out come the Jags. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Eddie Vanderdoes never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Minshew. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. Here's Logan Cook now, standing just about on his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That's taken on the 25. Call that one an even 60 yards. 6-0. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. From the 40 now on second down. Brissett finding Knox there, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Brissett now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. His throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Brissett. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 37.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Brissett. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 19. They'll run on first down. Howard. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Over the middle, complete. That's short. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
On first and goal, Howard. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Brissett. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Bills cut into that lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. That time a 9-play drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop? You're taking charge.
On second and inches, Minshew. This is Butler making the catch. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Now Minshew on first and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Minshew sets to throw. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight.
Let's go, baby.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
A first down throw for Brissett. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They go counter with Howard. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, come on up, come on up.
Now Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Brissett sets to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's short. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught by Moncrief. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. That was so well timed. Just a perfect throw on the slant.
Hit him on the move, didn't he? Now he's going against the grain of the defenders coming over to try and stop him. That allowed for that additional yardage downfield.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Throwing on first down is Minshew. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now he dumps this off over the middle, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Minshew. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dante Moncrief there to make the grab. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Lambeau on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets them 8. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Brissett. And that is incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Got it. 53 Mike. Check. 53 Mike. You don't want none of that. Pick up the ball. Let's go.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice
blitz coming, and down he goes.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. Moncrief brings it in. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dante Moncrief, ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it past the 20. 5 and up to the 28-yard line.
Go! Let's go!
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing again on second down. Brissett. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has some. Going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Brissett now. Tyler Croft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A throw over the middle, taken in. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Minshew. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Randy Gregory, his 2nd sack of the night. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles usually...
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
To throw is Brissett. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. Got an open man. It's Scott. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Here's Brissett. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Brissett to throw for it on 4th. He's got it. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Right there in the middle, 55. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Again, it's Brissett. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. Here's second and goal. They'll throw again. Brissett. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyler Kroft taking it in. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The Bills offense staying out there as they'll line up and go for 2.
4 down, check, 4 down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.